So I'm going to send you the link in Arabic. Those who have manasik in English from the website of Sayyid, they can just follow the manasik from the website. So I'm going to send you the link of what we are doing today. Okay. So بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين لا قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we are going to continue our manasik al-Hajj. We were discussing about the kafarat. Okay, we were discussing about the penalty, I mean the turuk al-ihram, those things which are prohibited in the state of ihram. And we were discussing the session of kafarat. So kafarat um, of the hunt, like, most of the violations of ihram or prohibitions of ihram, if they're committed, there is a penalty. And this penalty, not all of them have penalty. This penalty, most of the things, if done unintentionally, there is no penalty, except for 4 or 5 things. We are going to mention those. So if you did not know, if you are unintentional, there is no penalty, except for 4 or 5 things. I'm going to mention that. But at this point, we are going to discuss this. If you go to the link I sent you, which is the website of S Sistani Dz, sistani.org, the Manasik al-Hajj, you will find it easily in the Kutub al-Fatwa'iyya, the books of Islamic ruling. So here we have ruling number 207 in Arabic version. Kafaratul Sayd, the penalty of hunting. So hunting is prohibited. One of the prohibited things in the state of Ihram is hunting. So what is the penalty of hunting? في قتل النعامة, killing an ostrich. You know ostrich, the big bird, the feathery big bird. Uh, you must have seen in Jumanji or something like that. Anyhow, or in zoo. So في قتل النعامة بدنة. That means you kill a camel. I mean, you kill an ostrich, you pay penalty a camel. Why? Because they both have long necks. God knows best. These are narrations. They have derived these things from the narrations of our Aimma alayhi salatu wasalam. So you slaughter a camel. So what about the oryx? The oryx is maha. You know, Qatar Airways, they have this oryx. I think that's what they call oryx or oryx maha. It's in here. It's baqaratul wahsh. That means the wild cow. So wild cow, when you look at it, it is called yeah, it's called oryx or a duck's scientific name. Okay, so this is what it has horns. Somehow, some people they have different meaning for this. So baqaratul wahsh literally means the wild cow. So you have to look into Mullah Google or Mullah Chat GPT or what the mullahs, whatever they have. Sometimes they don't give accurate information. So try to verify that you know what is this. According to I found out the Qatar Airways animal with 2 horns, that's called oryx. That comes to me there, but it needs to be verified. Anyhow, في قتل بقرة الوحش بقرة, you kill a cow, you have penalty cow. وكذا في قتل حمار الوحش. حمار الوحش, the wild donkey. حمار الوحش basically means zebra. So wild donkey, a zebra. على الأحوط لزوما. So cow. You killed a wild cow, you slaughter a domestic cow. You killed a wild donkey, we can't say you kill a domestic donkey. No, you slaughter a cow. So if you kill a zebra or you kill a wild cow, then the penalty will be slaughtering a cow. So there's a question, it always pops up: who the heaven is going to, where will find zebra in Saudi Arabia, or or ostrich in Saudi Arabia? No. Many times when you come from Africa by car, on the way you will find quite, especially if you pass through Masai Mara and these places, you will find so many zebras and so many things, and accidentally your car kills a zebra, or kills that kind of whatever animal, or kills an ostrich. Yeah, so I mean, don't think yourself that you are like in Europe, or you're in Gulf country, you don't see this. No, there are people, they come from Africa to perform their Hajj. So just broaden your horizon. When I'm speaking about the animals, keep your horizon broadened, that I'm not talking about these animals, because when you enter the state of Ihram, okay, while you're coming from Jeddah, you see, let's say you are in Egypt, you come from Sudan, you are in Egypt, you cross the river, so you enter the state of Ihram with nether before even you are coming across. So maybe you entered the state of Ihram with nether in Africa, and then you went to the airport because you're going to any possibilities are okay. I mean, it's not like something impossible to imagine. You're in the state of Ihram, and where will you find these kind of animals? But oryx is there. Like these, there are so many the animals of like these are available in desert, and even na'am, ostrich. You see, من أصاب شيئا من okay. وفي قتل الظبي والأرنب. So dhabi is like the reindeer kind of thing, type of a deer, but big. Well, arnab, shat. So if you slaughter, you kill a rabbit, or you kill what they say, a type of deer, reindeer, or um, um, L or something like that, the big with so many horns. وكذلك في الثعلب على الأحوط وجوبا. And some kafarat are proven by authentic narrations, some kafarat are not proven by authentic narrations. So Sayyidi Sistani Dz plugs it with ihtiyat wajib. That means on the basis of, if you find another marja you can refer to, but for me, observe precautionary measure, and for the fox and for the zebra, you slaughter on the basis of obligatory precaution. Anyhow, these are just a few names of the animals. It's not important for you to know until if you encounter slaughtering some of the things, then you come and ask Maulana, or open the book of law, and you will get. So it's not necessary to know all these details, but it's just giving an idea that in case if you encounter killing some animal, then there will be. So if it's a big animal, you will end up paying a big penalty. Big animals, slaughtering big animal. If it's a medium size cow, if it's a small, then you will end up into slaughtering a sheep. So ruling number 208, man asaba. Now that was for killing. This one, man asaba shay'an min as-sayd, فإن كان فداؤه بدنة ولم يجد ما يشتريها فعليه إطعام 60 مسكينا، لكل مسكين مد، فإن لم يقدر صام 18 يوما. So this is number one. So remember, there are things you slaughter a camel, and we always say stay away from the camels because sometimes the camel kafara means repeat your Hajj. But here, so far, there is no indication here that if you slaughter a camel or your Hajj becomes violated because of the hunt. So if you are supposed to slaughter what? Man asaba shayn min as-sayd. If you hunt and you are supposed to pay the penalty by slaughtering a camel. فإن كان فداؤه بدنة ولم يجد ما يشتريها به. He did not find whatever he could purchase it with. That means he was not capable of buying a camel. A camel, like for example, some say that is $5,000, $2,000. Depends on the market, from $1,000 till $5,000. It's not cheap. The camel, it could cost you the entire financial expenses of the Hajj, the entire ability of Hajj. $5,000, 5,000 nowadays, $10,000 Hajj. I don't know whether camel price has gone up or not, but in the seasons, the price goes up. He did not have money to buy a camel. ولم يجد ما يشتريها به فعليه إطعام 60 مسكين. No problem. If you are not able to, then feed 60 poor. لكل مسكين مد. Mud is like a handful of food, or three quarter kgs of food. That's kaf min al-ta'am is handful of food. Mud is 3/4 kgs of food, three-quarter kilo. Miskinan. Every poor should get three-quarter kgs of that food. Let's say he is not able to. Even that money he doesn't have. فإن لم يقدر صام 18 يوما. If he was not able to also do that, then he would fast 18 days. Okay? So this is the sequence for the camel. Camel, if you cannot camel, 60 days. Not 60 days, 60 poor, feed 60 poor, each poor three-quarter kgs of food. You cannot fast 18 days. This is number one. Number two, what if somebody, this same ruling number 208, وَإِن كَانَ فِدَاؤُهُ بَقَرَةٌ, if his penalty was slaughtering a cow, وَلَمْ يَجِدْ مَا يَشْتَرِيهَا وَلَمْ يَجِدْ, and he could not find, فَلْيُطْعِمْ 30 مسكين, 50% discount. So he should feed 30 poor. Okay, if I cannot, I don't have enough money for that. فَإِن لَمْ يَقْدِرْ صَامَ 9 أيام. If he is not able to, he should fast 9 days. 50% discount, 50% discount. Okay, so from 60, we have now 30 poor. From 18 days, we have 9 days of fasting. Good. What if the penalty was a sheep and he was not able to find a sheep? وَإِن كَانَ فِدَاؤُهُ شَاةٌ وَلَمْ يَجِدْ فَلْيُطْعِمْ 10 مساكين. So now more discount. Okay, from 60 to 30 to 10. Okay, what if he doesn't have even that money to feed 10 poor? فَإِن لَمْ يَقْدِرْ صَامَ 3 أيام. He should fast 3 days. To summarize this ruling 208, if you are supposed to slaughter a camel, you did not find. Feed 60 poor, you could not. You could not afford camel. Feed 60 poor. You could not afford 60 poor. Fast 18 days. What about cow? Half of everything. If you could not find a cow or afford buying a cow, slaughtering a cow, then feed 30 poor. If you are not able to feed 30 poor, then fast 9 days. Good. What about the sheep? If you're able to slaughter sheep, you have to slaughter a sheep if your penalty was sheep. If you could not slaughter a sheep, then then feed 10 poor. If you are not able to feed 10 poor, then fast 3 days. So from uh, from camel to cow to sheep, from 60 poor to 30 poor to 10 poor, from 18 days to 9 days to 3 days. Okay, now there are lots of names here. I know some of you searched these names and checked in the Tawdih al-Masail or the Manasik in English. Please double check, because some translations of some animals are not correct. I mean, I don't think so. You'll encounter, when you encounter killing an animal, just come to your Maulana or open this and try to find out what is your kafara. So I'm just going to go through these names. And وفي قتل القطاط والحج حجل والدراج ونظيرها حمل a sheep قد فطم من اللبن, like baby sheep, just that baby stopped the feeding of the milk. That means the nursing period was done, because like a human baby, the nursing period is 2 years. 2 years he gets the he drinks gets feeds on the milk. So just this baby sheep which ended his milk feeding. وأكل من الشجر, and started eating from the tree. So this is certain bird. في العصفور والقبر والصعوة مد من الطعام. These are all different types of bird. على الأظهر, most apparently feed handful of or not mud, sorry, 3/4 kilograms of food. وفي قتل غير ما ذكر من الطيور. So these birds, they have narrations. Okay, the ones which you are going to slaughter a baby sheep which has finished its breastfeeding or milk feeding, udder feeding to be precise, and then udder feeding, not breastfeeding, udder feeding, like feeding from the mother sheep. So and started eating grass. Oh, and then there are other type of birds which are smaller bird. They are you just feed 3/4 kg of food to the poor. These are narrated. What about any other bird which has not been specified in the narration? وفي قتل غير ما ذكر من الطيور, and in killing other than whatever has been mentioned from the birds, كالحمامة ونحوها, such as pigeon, dove, or similar to it. شاة, general rule. If these are because you see this kafara, a baby this and a baby that, a baby sheep and a handful, these are specification. If these specifics are not there and you killed a bird which is any type of bird other than these two categories, then just slaughter a sheep. وفي فرخه حمل, and in the baby bird, it's a baby sheep. Okay, أو جدي, a small baby goat. What about, so we have adult bird, sheep, small baby sheep or baby goat, and وفي حكم بيضه, what about the eggs? You hunt the eggs or something, you hunt and you cut open, there were eggs inside. So these eggs they belong to the hunt, because if the eggs are separate, that's something else. But if the eggs are they belong to the hunt, you hunted animal, you cut the animal bird, cut it open. Many times I've seen, like many times we used to slaughter chicken, and when we cut open, we used to so many small bags unshelled, and there will be a few bags soft shell, and the one or two ready to be delivered were hard shell. Not that hard, because the hardness of the shell happens mostly after it gets the oxygenation. After it gets into air, it becomes very hard. but it's almost like hardish, but still there is softness. Anyhow, so let's say you took this egg, after a few while out, it became hard. So these eggs, وفي حكم بيضه إذا كان فيه فرخ يتحرك حكم الفرخ. Let's say one of these eggs you took and it has a chick inside moving, a very small chick moving. Okay. وإذا كان فيه فرخ لا يتحرك ففيه درهم. And let's say that this is all for the house students. Okay. We don't teach manasik al-hajj for the laymen, these kind of things. These are technicalities to understand the narrations which have been narrated, these kind of things. So if you want, just go and check these narrations in the chapter of manasik al-hajj, or check the Tanqih of Sayyid al-Khou'i Quddas Sirra, or the Encyclopedia of Fiqh of Sayyid al-Khou'i. He mentions these narrations. وإذا كان في فرق so a chick which is moving, or a chick which is not moving, or dead, or still it has not completed. So in this case, فرق لا يتحرك ففيه درهم. It's like a silver coin, 2.2 grams of silver. وكذا إذا كان مجردا عن الفرخ, even if the egg did not have any chick inside, or embryo inside, the same thing. وفي قتل جرادة واحدة تمرة. If you hunt the locust, locust is eaten. So you one locust, one date, or he says handful of food. It's all for the houses students to broaden their spectrum. But if you decide to go to Manasik al-Hajj, will not tell you these kind of things. You just because these are rarely encountering. وَالثَّانِي أفضل. So feeding the food to the poor is much better. ومع التعدد تتعدد الكفارة إلا إذا كان كثيرا عرفا فإن فيه شاذ. So in multiplication of these things, the kafara becomes multiplied. Two locusts, two handful of food. Two, five locusts, five. But if it becomes plenty, you got bunch of locusts, then in this case, you just, if it is commonly known, إلا إذا كان كثيرا عرفا, if it was commonly known to be plenty, then you slaughter a sheep. في قتل اليربوع. Yarbu' is a desert mouse. Desert mouse, it looks like a kangaroo. We used to see a lot when we were in Qatar and in the desert. So yarbu', we used to call it jarbu', and some they call it yarbu'. So it's not a mouse, it's not a rat, it's like a desert rat or desert mouse. It looks like a kangaroo. Okay, it has long feet and small hands. والقنفذ, porcupine. ضب is desert lizard. These also we used to see in desert a lot. It's this big. Even the narrations, Khalid ibn Walid used to eat it. So that's why it's makruh. It's not haram for Ahl Sunnah. But for school of Ahl al-Bayt, no, any type of lizard is halal. Okay. So just Khalid ibn Walid ate doesn't mean that we can eat also. So it's just same color of lizard, but it's like a big lizard. It's like dinosauric shape or something like that. Well, and it moves fast. The tail is very sharp. If it hits you, it can injure your feet or something like that. والضب والضب is okay. So these desert animals such as porcupine, such as desert mouse or rat, which is like kangaroo style, or والضب, desert lizard. You can put on Google these words. You will get images of these. Jadyun, a goat, a baby goat. Because these are small animals. So just remember a rule of thumb: big animal, big camelish, medium sized cow, small things like small animals or small things, uh, baby goat. Okay. وفي قتل and all these كف من الطعام. قتل الزنبور. Zambur is like a wasp. Okay. متعمدا, feeding the poor. I'm just going to skip all these things. إذا أصاب المحرم الصيد في خارج الحرم فعليه الفداء. This is like, remember slaughtering outside of the haram, inside of the haram. So if you are muhrim and outside of the haram, then فعليه الفداء أو قيمته السوقية. If you hunt an animal outside خارج الحرم, so you have to slaughter the animal أو قيمته السوقية. فعليه الفدية, the same animal, or if it was out of the haram, you don't have to slaughter. You can قيمته السوقية فيما لا تقدير لفديته. If you cannot estimate how much is the fidya, you can just give the amount of it. وإذا أصابه المحل في الحرم. Now that was muhrim out of the border of the haram. This is muhil, the one who have taken off his ihram and has exited the state of ihram, but he's still in the haram. And we said in haram, even if you're not muhrim, it is prohibited. فعليه القيمة. So you have to pay the penalty, the cost of what? Now here many times people they get confused. إذا أصاب المحرم الصيد في خارج الحرم فعليه الفداء. If you're outside of the haram and you are muhrim, then either you sacrifice whatever was mentioned أو قيمته السوقية فيما لا تقدير لفديته. Okay, if you don't know how much is the kafara of it, the kafara of the animal you slaughtered, because there, as we mentioned, some of the animals has been mentioned in the narration. So what if the animal is not mentioned in the narration and I was out of the haram and I was in the state of ihram and I killed an animal? He says, value, because لا تقدير لفديته, there is no estimation for his fidya. That means there is no narration. We don't know what kind of kafara should be done, what kind of penalty for it. So what should I do? Give the poor the cost of the animal you killed. So let's say you killed what was not mentioned. Let's say you killed a cat. Okay, you're driving and you kill the cat and you're muhrim coming from Medina. Okay, there's no narration about the cat, there's no specification. So what should you do? Check out how much would this cat cost. أو قيمته السوقية فيما لا تقدير لفديته, or the market value of that animal for the animals which has not been dedicated a penalty for it. Okay, so if this animal doesn't have any dedicated penalty in the narrations, then the market value of it. So you check if this cat, how much would it cost? For example, I'm trying to explain that the value of the camel, or the value, no, the camel, you know that. So if you have to slaughter the camel, you slaughter the camel. But if it's an animal which you don't know, it's camel or cow or goat or baby goat or whatever, a handful of food. So then you see how much is the market value of that animal which you killed. So this is if you're out. وَإِذَا أَصَابَهُ الْمُحِلُّ فِي الْحَرَامِ, and if you kill that animal inside the haram, then you have to pay the value, market value of it to the poor. إِلَّا فِي الْأَسَدِ, except in the case of lion. Okay, فَإِنَّ فِيهِ كَبْشًا عَلَى الْأَظْهَرِ, for killing a lion there is a sheep, most apparently. That means there is a narration defining. So if you are in the haram, specification, out of the haram, the narration of lion is not there. So the narration of the lion is in, if you kill it inside the haram, specifically inside the haram, and you are in the state of ihlal, you are not muhrim. So it is mentioned, they mention in ilm al-usul, whenever a narration comes in a specific area, in a specific situation, a specific condition, we need to limit it in that specific condition which the narration indicated. We cannot extend it out, then it will be qiyas, which is prohibited. So if a narration says lion, we cannot go to the lion, tiger. We cannot go to the jaguar. We cannot go to the cat. We cannot go to, because they're all felines. No. We cannot go to out of haram. We cannot go to the state of ihram inside the haram. Okay? Because it says that إذا أصابه المحل في الحرم فعليه القيمة. المحل في الحرم, he has to pay penalty. Except if the muhil fil haram has killed a lion. So then in that case only, most apparently, that means there's a narration, okay, which indicates this ruling, that he has to slaughter a sheep. وَإِذَا أَصَابَهُ الْمُحْرِمُ, if someone was in the state of ihram and inside the haram, fil haram, فَعَلَيْهِ الْجَمْعُ بَيْنَ الْكَفَّارَتَيْن, then he has to combine two kaffarats. One is the animal, camel or cow or goat, and pay the value of it to the poor, value of the animal you killed. Okay. Ruling number 2 and 3. يجب على المحرم أن ينحرف عن الجادة إذا كان فيها الجراد فإن لم يتمكن فلا بأس بقتلها. It is obligatory upon the one who's in the state of ihram or muhrim to divert from the route where there are locusts. Let's say he's driving his car after the Ta'if or after Jeddah or after Qarn al-Manazil, after Al-Yalamlam, all these miqat, he's driving his car and there was swarm of locusts coming. So now he has to change his route. Or he heard in the news that the road which you are going to goes to Mecca, they have swarms of. So if you can change the route, in those days it was desert, so you can change the route of the camel. But here, nowadays you are driving a car on a road, and you might not have any other route other than the route you are on. So if you can change the route, the road, divert, do it. It's obligatory. If not, then just drive through them, ram them, kill them. There's no harm on you because there's no other option for you. And you're not intentionally going to do it. 214. لو اشترك جماعة محرمون في قتل صيد فعلى كل واحد منهم كفارة مستقلة. Let's say there's a zebra. 5, 10 people, they attacked it and they killed it. Okay. So is the penalty going to be divided and distributed like one camel, everybody, 5 people, everybody pay 1/5 of the camel? No. Everyone will pay their own kafara independently. That means if 5 people they killed this poor zebra, 5 penalties. Everyone will pay one penalty. لو اشترك جماعة محرمون, if people they collaborate or cooperate or they become they a group, they kill a hunt together and they are in the state of ihram. So every one will pay their kafara independently, penalty. So the kafara will be shared. So if they shared in killing, if a group of people in state of ihram shared in killing a hunt, then they will pay the kafara penalty independently. Ruling number 215, kafara to aklis. Now that was killing. Now what about eating the hunt? We said you should not kill, you should not eat the hunt which someone might have hunted. Kafara to aklis sayd, ka kafara to sayd nafs. Oh my goodness. You eat one bite of that which has kafara of camel, you pay camel for one bite. At least the guy, he killed the, what they say, the ostrich or whatever. I ate just a bite of that kind of animal which was hunted. So why should I pay? No, you ate, finish. كفارة أكل الصيد ككفارة الصيد نفسه. So the kafara of eating the hunt is similar to the kafara of hunting it. فَلَوْ صَادَهُ الْمُحْرِمُ. So therefore, if the one who's in the state of ihram hunts it and eats it, so two penalties, one for hunting it, another for eating it. Ruling number 216. إذا كان مع المحل صيد ودخل الحرم وجب عليه إرساله. If you have caught a hunt animal, okay, so let's say this hunted animal has some life in it, so let it go. إذا كان مع المحل صيد, he has a hunt, he hunted and he has not entered the state of ihram. He's muhil, okay, and it's not every time you enter Makkah you have to be in the state of ihram. Once a month, lunar calendar, we said. So he did his Umrah on 15th Rajab. Now he goes to Jeddah, he goes to Medina, he comes back, he doesn't have to enter the state of Ihram. While coming back, he made a hunt. He got a hunt. He hunted. The hunt had still life. So إذا كان مع المحل صيد ودخل الحرم, he enters the haram, وجب عليه إرساله, send it out. فإن لم يرسل حتى مات, so if he does not let it go until that hunt dies, that animal dies, لزمه الفداء, then a penalty will become compulsory upon him. So while the life is there, let him go. Don't let him die in your hand. Let him go. Release him. Okay? So if a person who is not in the state of ihram had a hunted animal, alive, not dead, and entered the haram, then it would become obligatory upon him to release that hunted animal. If he does not release it until that animal dies, then the penalty will be necessary upon him. وَمَنْ أَحْرَمَ وَمَعَهُ صَيْدٌ حَرُمَ عَلَيْهِ إِمْسَاكُ مُطْلَقًا كَمَا تَقَدَّمَ. And whoever enters the state of ihram and he has a hunt, okay, then you cannot withhold it. حَرُمَ عَلَيْهِ إِمْسَاكُ, then it will be prohibited for him to withhold it. Absolutely, in every case, as mentioned previously. So what you have to do, you have to let it go, release it. When you are not in the haram, fine. Even out of the haram, you are now in the state of ihram. وَإِن لَمْ يُرْسِلُوا حَتَّى مَاتَ لَزِمَهُ الْفِدَاء. Okay? So if you do not release it and is injured and he dies in your hand, then you have to pay the penalty. وَلَوْ كَانَ ذَلِكَ قَبْلَ دُخُولِ الْحَرَمْ الْأَحْوَطُ وُجُوبًا. Even if it was before entering the haram on the basis of obligatory precaution. Okay? So if you are out of the haram, not in the state of ihram, and you want to enter the state of ihram, but you are not in this, no, you want to enter the haram and you're not in the state of ihram, that's fine, release it. Don't bring it with you inside the haram. And if you are out of the haram and you're in the state of ihram, release it anyways, either you entered or you did not enter. So even if you did not enter the haram, you are in the state of ihram. So what is you said that some of the penalties, if you did it, if you violated unknowingly, there's no penalty upon you. So what about this hunting? He says there is no difference here. Intentionally, non-intentionally, deliberately, out of ignorance, all is equal. That means you have to pay the penalty. You are not pardoned. Some violations of ihram, you are pardoned. Okay, some of them istighfar is sufficient. Here, no, you'll have to do istighfar if you did intentionally. But what if unintentionally? You have to still pay the penalty. What if I did not know? You still have to pay the penalty. Ruling number 217. لا فرق في وجوب الكفارة في قتل الصيد. There is no difference in the obligation of penalty in killing the hunt. وأكله, or eating it. So killing and eating, regardless of you did it intentionally or you did it unintentionally or you did it out of ignorance. In all cases, intentionally, deliberately, out of forgetfulness, out of ignorance, they all will cause a penalty. Final ruling 218. Okay, so what about multiplication of the penalty? تتكرر الكفارة بتكرر الصيد. The penalty is multiplied by the multiplication of the hunt. Okay, what about accidentally? Okay, I did it. لخطأ, out of error, أو نسيان, out of forgetfulness, أو اضطرار, out of necessity, أو جهل يعذر فيه, or out of ignorance, that ignorance which is pardoned or excused. So he says the penalty will be multiplied. وكذلك في العمد. Similarly, in the case of intention. So we have khata, error, unintentional error, out of forgetfulness, out of necessity, out of ignorance. All ignorance that you are pardoned. تتكرر الكفارة بتكرر الصيد لخطأ أو نسيان أو اضطرار أو جهل يعذر فيه, or ignorance which you are pardoned in it. وكذلك في العمد. Similarly, the penalty will be repeated. كذلك في العمد إذا كان الصيد في المحل من المحل في الحرم. Same thing is repeated. If somebody is not in the state of ihram, why should? He said it doesn't matter. As somebody who's not in the state of ihram and is in the haram, multiplication of the penalty. أو من المحرم مع تعدد الإحرام. Or someone who is in the state of ihram with the multiplication of ihram. So one ihram, one penalty. Another ihram, another penalty. So the penalty is repeated. So وأما إذا تكرر الصيد عمدا من المحرم في إحرام واحد فلا تجب الكفارة بعد المرة الأولى. So let's say one state of ihram, okay, not multiple ihram. So if it is repeated in one ihram intentionally, deliberately, so there's one kafara, okay. وَمَا إِذَا تَكَرَّرَ الصَّيْدُ عَمْدًا. If the hunting is repeated, multiple hunting intentionally from the one who's in the state of ihram, من المحرم في إحرام, one ihram, فلا تجب الكفارة بعد المرة الأولى. One kafara is done, then the kafara is not repeated. بل هو ممن قال الله تعالى فيه ومن عاد فينتقم الله منه. فلا تجب الكفارة بعد المرة الأولى. But if he enters another state of ihram, yes, so every state of ihram has one kafara. So this ruling 218, تتكرر الكفارة بتكرر الصيد لخطأ أو نسيان أو اضطرار أو جهل يعذر فيه. In any cases, the kafara will be multiplied. Similarly, في العمد إذا كان الصيد من المحل في الحرم أو من المحرم مع تعدد الإحرام. Okay, so someone who is not in the state of ihram in the haram, the kafara will be multiplied. However, if he was in the state of ihram and the hunting was repeated, in this case, intentionally, in this case, one kafara per ihram. So once you are done with one kafara, then regardless of the repetition of the hunt, one kafara is sufficient. However, if you are going to violate repeatedly, you are going to commit sin. So don't say, okay, the one kafara is done, one is sufficient, now I am going to hunt more and more. No, 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 no. Remember, it is prohibited. So one kafara is done, you'll not have any other kafara as long as there's one ihram, but the kafara, the prohibition will be repeated. So you'll have to do sincere istighfar. So how can we picture two ihram? How can we picture two ihram? Easy. Ihram Umrat al-Tamattu', you enter Makkah, you wean off your ihram, then again you enter the state of ihram of Hajj. So if you have hunted in the ihram of Umrat al-Tamattu' and hunted in the ihram of Umrat al-Hajj al-Tamattu', you will pay two kafara. That means it will be multiplied. Okay? Similarly, some people they go Makkah, they did their Umrah al-Mufrada. They go out, they come back, they do niyaba for someone else. Or the month ended, Rajab ended, and Sha'ban entered. So I want to do another Umrah in Sha'ban for myself, because you can do for yourself one ihram, one Umrah per month. So in this case, what will happen? That every ihram will have one kafara only. Every ihram have one kafara only. The multiplication will only be if it was done in multiple ihram. Ihram of first umrah, you finish your umrah, there was hunting. Ihram of another umrah, you finish your umrah, there was hunting in it. So multiplication of a muhrim. So we have two, don't mix up. One says someone وكذا في العمد intentional. First of all, unintentional multiplication is there. تتكرر كفارة, but in the unintentional error, nisyan, forgetfulness, compulsory, necessary, that is multiplication of kafara for the someone who is not in the state of ihram but in the haram, or he's out of the haram and in the state of ihram. Okay, this is unintentional. What about intentional? He divides the intentional luring into two. وكذلك في العمد إذا كان الصيد من المحل في الحرم. Similarly, the kafara will be repeated if it was intentionally from a muhrim, from a muhil inside the haram. From somebody who's not in the state of haram inside the haram. Okay, what about a muhrim inside the haram? So he says, أو من المحرم مع تعدد الإحرام. Okay, for the muhrim, non-muhrim, in one ihram, multiple kafarat, multiple hunting. But if he's in the state of ihram, one kafara is sufficient. There's no multiplication for the intentional person. But he's in the state of ihram. But the sin will repeat, but the kafara will not repeat. وأما إذا تكرر الصيد عمدا من المحرم في إحرام واحد. And as for if the hunt was repeated intentionally from the one who's in the state of ihram, in one ihram, then the kafara will only be once. It will not be repeated. So this is an exceptional case, which is somebody who is what? Muhrim in ihram واحد من المحرم. وأما إذا تكرر عمدا من المحرم في إحرام واحد. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على